So as a parent, you might hear your child coming home making reference to best friends. They might be talking about a book, though, and not one of the other children in the classroom. Because this year we're working with making a small collection of books, 5 or 6, that we're going to read many times across the year, that we become to know very carefully and very intimately, that we will refer to as best friend books. And the idea there is that your children will know those books in ways that they know their best friends, that they'll come to know them slowly over time. When we're looking at those, we're not worrying so much about the level of the book or the lexile. We're not worrying about the content and whether or not it's beyond their head, because we're reading them aloud to them and we're visiting them together. And we're providing the support of the art and of the adult in the room who can help point to things to help them understand what's happening in that text. The vocabulary will be built by the context that takes place around the language, by the conversations that you have and what you choose to lift out and focus. So if you want to support that work, especially across the summer, you may want to put together a collection of books of your own from the local library. To do that, simply think about some books that have enough in them that you want to talk about them across the whole summer and reading them 3 or 4 or 5 times from start to finish, sitting together and hosting conversations. I wouldn't talk about everything in the book when we read it. I may talk just about one thing each time we visit. Perhaps it's the setting. Where's this book happening? How's the weather? What time of year was it? What would have happened if the story were in the fall and not in the spring? How does the setting impact the plot? I might look at something like who's the main character and what was their motivation for making the decisions they made? What was the problem or the challenge they faced? I might come again and look at something as simple as who are the other characters and what would happen to this story if there were no little sister? How would we know the big sister differently? So I'm going to take one small, clear focus and think only about that as we read it. A second time, a third time, a fourth time. But that first visit, you read from start to finish, just like you're going to a movie or listening to a recording. You're not pausing, you're not stopping to talk, you're trusting your child's brain to make sense of the text as you move from start to finish. So get a small collection, read them together multiple times, and come to know them differently than you know other books.